Finding the perfect personal size bag that beats the airlines at their game when it comes to basic economy is a very difficult thing to do. And finding one at a great price is even harder to do. So today, I'm going to be reviewing the EchoHub bag from Amazon, and we'll see if it measures up. So stay tuned. Now, before I go any further, this is the second of two videos that I'm going to be doing on personal size backpacks. Now, these two backpacks were highly requested, and that's why I'm doing them now. But in an upcoming video, I'll be reviewing 10 of my favorite backpacks, and I think you'll find it very informative and will help you decide which backpack is right for you. Not for me, but for you. So now, let's get on to the review of the EchoHub backpack. So this is the EchoHub bag that you can get on Amazon. And I have to say, this is one of the most requested reviews I've had from my viewers, and I like to listen to my viewers. Now, I will tell you right from the get-go, this bag will fit most of our national carriers because it falls in under that 18 by 14 by 8 measurement. But you could run into some problems if you're using a European or Asian airline, and I would always tell you to check your size limits before you purchase the bag. That being said, let's get into the rest of the measurements of the bag. So the measurements on this bag come in as basically 18 by just a hair less than 12 by 8. So that means this bag will make compliance for any airline that allows a personal size item of 18 by 14 by 8. But if it's bigger than that, this bag isn't going to do it. Or if you overstuff the bag, this bag isn't going to do it. So you have to keep that in mind. And I weighed the bag several times, and the bag only comes in as 1.7 pounds, which is really light for a bag of this size. Now, let me go over some of the pockets on this bag and the material of this bag. The EchoHub is made out of your standard nylon bag, which means that it's water resistant, but it's not waterproof. The zippers are standard zippers. They are not YKK zippers. And while this bag isn't made out of all the fancy name brand materials, what this bag does have is a lot of rave reviews about it and some of the best configuration I've seen in a while in a personal item size bag. So let me go over what I like about this bag, and then we'll pack out the bag because you know I'm going to pack out the bag. First of all, let's go over the pockets. Here in the front, there is no shortage of pockets. You have a pocket here, and it goes the whole length in.
Another neat function about this little front pocket here is that I can put a charger in here like this. And there's a little pass-through here, so I can charge my phone if I need to.
And you have another pocket here, and it goes all the way around, full depth, with two pockets on either side and two little pockets here. Now, I will tell you that this is very standard nylon material. It's anything fancy, but it does the job. I also want to point out that this pocket has a lot of depth to it, and that is both a plus and a minus, because if you overstuff this, it might not make compliance if you have to put it into a sizer. It has another big pocket here that goes all the way down to the bottom of the bag. And again, it's in your front of your bag, so while it's there, I would not overstuff it if you're worried about making compliance. And while it doesn't have dedicated little loops here to lock the bag, you can lock the bag with a standard lock like this and just put it through the two zipper holes like this. So you can put some added security with this TSA lock, and that might give you some comfort. On the side of the bag, you have a really deep water bottle compartment. I'll show you how deep. My water bottle disappears into it, and it would be strapped in with these compression straps. And I want to point out to you that this bag does have external compression straps. And that's really important, because if you've overstuffed this bag, you might have to batten down the hatches, as I like to say, and you need these external compression points. That being said, I'm not thrilled with the way that the compression comes around on this side, because it overlaps the internal part of the bag. And so if you have anything you have to access here on the inside, you're going to have to let these external straps go. Hardly a deal breaker, but something I should point out to you. Now, the bag has several handles. It has a very nice soft foam handle here on top, and also another foam handle here on the side. And I like that because, You never know when you have to lift the bag over your head and put it into an overhead storage. It could happen. Another thing I really like about this bag is the back of the bag. So let's get there. Now here in the back of the bag, it has two straps here, and it even comes with a snapping system. So if you want to keep these snaps out of the way, all you have to do is just snap them onto here like this, and you can make these tighter and they'll stay out of your way if you want to just use the bag with the handles. And the back panel is nice and cushy here, and so are the straps here for the backpack. And I think that that's really important. And here I am wearing the EchoHub, and you can see how comfortable it is, and it's really light on my shoulders. Now, of course, it has a trolley pass-through, but it also has a really nice pocket here in the back where you can put some of your more important bits and pieces. And I have to say, this is a really deep pocket. It almost goes across the top of the bag. And under the trolley strap is yet another pocket. And this I would call my safety pocket. And I would put in here my passport, my tickets, and stuff like that, because this is what's going to be against your back. But both of these pockets are on your back. So that's great to know, because you have that little bit of added security and nobody's going to get to your stuff while you're walking around with a backpack on your back. And back here you have this really nice padded computer compartment, and it's a really large computer compartment, and you'll see how large it is when I put my little tiny 13-inch computer in here. This computer compartment could easily hold a 16-inch computer without any problems. It is lightly padded, and I would say it's pretty decently padded from both sides in the back where it really counts. So that was a lot of stuff on the outside of the bag. Let's look on the inside of the bag. Now the bag has a clamshell opening, and I like that. I think it makes for easy packing. Also, I want to point out to you that they give you a little 311 bag here, which I like. I always love a good giveaway. The inside of the bag is a little surprising, because I thought this was going to be just one big cavernous space, and it isn't. It actually has some decent organization, because it has this pocket here, which goes all the way down to the bottom. And it has this other pocket here, which you can use for anything else, even packing stuff, your underwear and socks and stuff like that. It also has this nice little compression strap here. And this was something that I felt was missing in the Osprey bag, which you can see the review of over here. But it is a very large packing space, and you could easily get a week's worth of clothing. Now I'm going to show you what the packout is, and then you'll see how well it gets into this bag. So this is my 1 week packout for a transitional period. So that means that this can take you from cool weather to warm weather with no problems. So first let me get into the clothing, and then I'll get into all the incidentals. So let me show you the packout. A cardigan, a tank top, 3 shirts, leggings, pajamas, a nice dress, 2 long sleeve shirts, and 2 light cotton sweaters, and a pair of jeans. Over here I have 7 days worth of underwear and 7 days worth of socks. I also have a pair of shoes, my tech bag, my airline comfort bag, my phone, and of course my glasses and a pen, a crossbody bag, my liquids plus, because I have my makeup in here, a brush, my umbrella, because rain happens, my slippers for the plane to keep me comfortable, my computer, you wouldn't think so, but my straightener. And because this bag is unusual and it has a place to put a battery bank, I am going to be taking my battery bank and putting it into its designated spot. And that's everything you need for 1 week, if not longer, in a personal item bag. Now let's see how I do. Now, if you have any questions about the EchoHub, or how I packed it out, or how you would pack it out differently, please drop that in the comment section down below. You know how much I like to hear from you. And also, if you've enjoyed this video or you found it informative in any way, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, so that helps me continue to make more content like this. So here's the EchoHub fully packed out with 7 days worth of clothing. In actuality, this is more than 7 days worth of clothing, but let's just call it 7 days worth of clothing. And I didn't put anything here on the side, even though I could, say like the water bottle, which now fits nicely in here because it has all the pressure, but I just wanted you to get some measurements before you decide if you want to do that. So now that the bag is fully packed out and I've used the compression straps on the side, this bag measures in as 7.5 inches. And I think that that bodes really well for this bag. Now the height isn't going to change, but I'll measure it anyhow. No, it's the same. And the width is 12. So it didn't get any wider and it didn't get any taller, and it definitely got narrower from when I let it be its maximum self. And it's holding a week's worth of clothing. So let's go over how I packed out this bag and you'll see how this could work for you. Now, if you remember what I said earlier on, sometimes these compression straps are a blessing and sometimes they're not so much of a blessing. And in this case, I would say not so much, because while it compresses down the bag an awful lot, you have to get to the inside of the bag, get past the compression straps because of where they're stitched in. So, I mean, this is hardly a deal breaker, but it is something to take into consideration when you have this bag and if you're thinking about getting to the inside of this bag. So let's see what I put into all the pockets. Now, because I was worried about this bag getting too full in the front where there is no compression, I did not put anything into this front pocket, even though it's a perfectly fine front pocket. I don't feel so sure about these things. I like to be safe, not sorry. Same thing here. Now, I could put paperwork in there if I wanted to, but I didn't. But over here I put my Toiletry Plus bag. And that's because I'm thinking about getting through TSA quickly. And I want that to have easy access. So that's right here in front. Same thing with my computer here in the back. And I want to show you how much space there is here for a computer, because my 13-inch computer looks like lost in there. So this bag really can handle a much larger computer. And here in the back, I put my phone and my glasses and the pen. Now, I could have put them in the front here and probably could have gotten away with it, but I was just being cautious. And on the inside of the bag, I put the following items. I have my crossbody bag here, and I did not utilize this very, very deep pocket here. I have my airline comfort slippers, my umbrella, my international plug because I could be going to Europe. I did put in my straightener. I could get that in along with my brush. And when I open up these compression straps here, I have a pair of shoes, my airline comfort bag, which I left here on top because it will make it easier when the zippers are here on top for me to get to. I also have my socks, underwear, and bras in here, and all my clothing resides in here. Now I want to show you something that I really like about this bag. I could have put a whole lot more clothing in here if I wanted to, but I don't really, because I'd be worried about making compliance, because it is a personal item bag. That's me. If you're feeling adventurous and you want to stuff this bag to the brim, go ahead and do that. But my advice would be is to do a test at the airport in the sizers before you do that, because you don't want to be caught with an overstuffed bag and paying more charges that the airlines like to enforce these days. So here are some of my final thoughts about the EchoHub bag. At the time of filming, this bag was a bargain. It was only $39. And I think that that's outstanding, especially for a bag of this quality. And put aside the fact that it's not all name brand materials, this bag is rock solid, as attested to by all the positive reviews you can find on this bag on Amazon. My second thought about this bag is whether or not this bag can do dual duty. Now, normally when it comes to a bag like this, I don't think that it can do dual duty because it has one just large cavernous space on the inside. But I'm going to make an exception in this case and say, yes, I think it can do dual duty because it has so many pockets here in the front, on top, and in the back. And even inside, it does have pockets. It's just lacking the organization on the inside that I like on a bag that serves dual purpose. So I would say on a 1 to 3 score, this bag would get a 2, and 3 being perfect. But still, you're only paying $39 for this bag, and I don't know how you can beat that. My only other caveat about this bag is the actual size of the bag, because I think you could run into problems when you're dealing with either a European or Asian airline with a very restrictive size or weight limit, because these days they are measuring both the size and the weight. So you don't want to be caught in a situation where you're paying a lot of extra fees with a bag that does not make compliance, because those can actually end up costing you more than it would have been had you taken a carry-on. So these are all the things that I want you to take into consideration when you're making the purchase of this bag. But if you want to see a personal item bag that makes compliance for all airlines, check out this video over here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.